Well, world of YouTube, something has come up of the Delphi murders, talking about documents. Um, and the only thing that is very interesting in this document finding or whatnot or releasing is that both girls lost a substantial amount of blood. I did want to go over something real quick before I start these, but I just uploaded something talking about, and this was 3 weeks ago. Now, forgive me if I'm just getting this now. Of course, I'm going to get the people saying, oh, this is old news, but hey, I'm only catching up on stuff because the only thing I friggin' want to know is what's on that 43-second video. A little bit more than what should be on the news. Was there something that was said in the video, not this one? Or is it this one? No, not this one. The one before it I showed you. But, damn it. Excuse me. But I just found this that came up. And the scene was tampered with and bodies moved. Huh. That means there's only one thing: if they were tampered with and moved, that the killer was there searching with the crew. And the thing, like I said, that interests me the most is this some substantial amount of blood. Now, someone said that, excuse me, hold on a moment. I'm going to hold that off till the last minute. Someone said, in my comments too, about the killer and where he used to work. Of course, this idiot came back up, Anthony Snots. Yes, they say they have phone, records or showing text of him texting the girls, but they never showed up for him. And you must continue to be mindful of their surviving the family members. And now here's, DC Doug Carter. We cannot publicly convict someone based on single document which was not released by investigators. Our profession will not allow us to speak on what we think, but to always speak about what we know. Very interesting. And this is especially important. And the entire Carroll County community who are affected by this investigation, sure. About what you know. Supposedly, you guys know. Literally. I would like to remind the public that this is an active, ongoing investigation. Of course it is. I haven't heard nothing. I haven't heard nothing, but if anybody has heard, if the new investigators have stepped in and the old investigators are out. I didn't look that up yet, but will this guy be one of them? Public opinion. To not try it in the court of public opinion. Protect this integrity. Yeah, and protect it. They need to let out a little bit more than what they friggin' have for information, Ron Logan finally got to hear his voice. And I'll tell you something right now. This is definitely not BG. I'm sorry. And by looking at his face, even something, I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe he did know something. But you know what? There's that good guy or good crew, bad crew. Did he know the good crew? And was paid to be shut up? But I can guarantee you this man's voice is very soft and not as deep as Bridge Guy. I mean, he literally, I wouldn't even be able to imitate this guy. My voice is so rough. But this guy, his voice is so low pitch, soft. And Bridge Guy does have a deeper throat talking, you know. And about I wonder why people say it's me. Yeah, I'm Bridge Guy, you bunch of buffoons. Whoever they were. I haven't seen them for a while, but hey, probably still lingering out there. Go suck a fart out of my... Yeah, and on forth. Didn't know that this guy died in 2020. But with that voice that he has and listening to Bridge Guy, oh my God, if anybody thinks this guy is further on BG, you're a fool. Because his voice sounds very soft. Hell, I can even say this guy sounds like a friggin' pansy. I'm sorry. This guy is no way BG. I kept trying to screenshot stuff in these pictures. You know, it moved too quick to the next frame, so I'm going to start back here at the beginning. Because I got some of the documents trying to figure out something off of this. But this is the actual newscast report that came up. So, I mean, so we have a Nicole. That's a funny spelling of it. Robertson. Am a special agent with the FBI. Such as for 12 years. Prior to her employment, was employed as a Sauk Village, Illinois police officer. Check it there. Now this... Wait a minute, let me get this one. Yeah, this one. No. Now, I don't understand. The only thing they show is this. And she investigation of all violent crimes. There's nothing in here that, you know, other than this. And I believe, nope. Just talking about this person. And then it goes on to say juvenile victims talking about how they were dropped off, talking about walking the trail, gonna put in the whole the whole degrees of where they were in latitude and longitude. And which was the last time their sister seen them. Of course, this is all they show, right? Then they go into this. And this is the only thing out of this whole thing that interests me. A large amount of blood was lost by the victims at the cream of the sides because of the nature of the victims' wounds. It is nearly... Then I went did that. Was missing from the... some clothes or something was missing from the crime scene, I guess it said, while the rest of their clothing was recovered. So that means, yeah, the souvenir took from the killer. Took his souvenir to make, this is where the woods and it cut off and it got this, but piece of clothing was missing. And I hit it again and I got that. Based upon my training and experience, I believe this is, what's her name talking off the report. Predators of this type of crime to take a souvenir and in some fashion memorialize the crime scene. So right when now we go from the bodies removed to the from the original, they were put there by the killer. They were all done by the killer. This was all done because the killer enjoyed what he did, but now it was moved. The scene was moved and tampered with. Two new things that have come up, moved and tampered with. I mean, that's the only one thing I can think of is that damn SOB went back during the search party, and no one was going to think of that man being the killer, of course, because that man, obviously, right, is in the community. Probably a, very highly ranked, liked person. Like I say, until all that DNA and all this other stuff, and they also go on to say the amount of blood that was lost, that this killer could have gotten some on his clothes. So yeah, I mean, you'd have to watch this to hear some of this stuff. And this is going on to talk about Logan. Logan further told to stay that drove Logan to an aquarium. Logan told Blank to stay. They returned to Logan's house. I don't know what this is. This is something with the name. The police said Blank came to DNA's home because Logan's home between 2 and 2:30. See, I mean, this is probably something that makes him think Logan, was the killer, but he ain't. But hey, if he was involved and knew something, hey, I think that could be true. A lot of people out there must have, I know this one, know that one. I know everybody in the town is right. And what would be not surprising in these small towns, and even this one, they all were in cahoots with each other. But then, here it goes. These statements were found to be factually false and intentionally designed to deceive law enforcement. So I think this was all false about Logan this, Logan that. And like I said, listening to that man's voice, you sound like a friggin' pansy. I'm sorry, that ain't the killer, and it never will. And, people need to leave that man alone, even though if he did have something involved with it. Because it was his land, right? But, how's anybody gonna, I don't know. He went off to that's the thing. If he went off to the package store, then maybe he did know something or seen something and just maybe thought, oh, there's a guy with 2 girls. Well, I'm just going to get out of here and blah, blah, blah. Or if he did know who it was and knew it was going down, so be it. Based on the experience, it's responsible to believe that the creation of the alibi prior to the discovery of the crime indicates accountability and knowledge of the crime. See, all right. So, I mean, anybody can have this knowledge of crime because, right, when you got good crew working with each other, the good crew, right? And I believe, yeah, that's it. But the blood. Why do I keep talking about the blood? Because someone had mentioned. that this man used to work in a meat factory? Correct me if I'm wrong. Because if that's the truth, and I'm believing it is, the meat factory. I remember someone saying he worked at a meat factory. If you work at a meat factory and you get live stock, I mean, just killed or whatever, yeah, you're killing them. Say in the movie It, you gotta put that little trigger gun to the head to, immediately kill the animal so you don't stress it, so the meat comes out tender and perfect. If you do it wrong, and the poor little freaking animal suffers, you're gonna have some lousy meat. And I remember something off a movie, man, and especially out in India. But and I just read up something about these restaurants out in Worcester. I was trying to look up to see where they were coming from. They're foreign countries, and they're talking about goat meat. And and I guess the best way to kill an animal is you gotta slit its throat. Something about slicing the throat. And I learned something like that, not realizing it, but learned it from a movie back from 1982. If anybody wants to watch it, I recommend it. It's a highly good movie. It's like a military movie. It's a bunch of all-star cast. David Carradine, his brother. I forgot his first name, damn it. But it's got Powers Booth in it. And it's called, oh man, awesome. The Heavenly Kid, the father, the I Got It Covered guy. He's in it. Just an awesome movie. Southern Comfort. And what I learned from that movie is they did do that to a huge pig. They slit its throat and de-gutted it right on them in the movie. When I was seeing that, I was like, holy crap. It was the first time I've ever seen that. And that's what it is like out in these. They were, the movie in a short, because I got to go real quick. In a short, description. I think I did a movie review on that. But they're like peacemakers or volunteer soldiers. Forget what the hell you call them. But this movie shows you about ignorance and stupidity. And if you have it, you're going to get yourself caught up in a ring of BS that's beyond your, and they did. They got killed in that movie. A lot of them got killed because they just wanted to play stupid. And you don't do that kind of stuff, especially when you're in an unknown chartered land like they were out there in the Southern Comfort down south, like Amish people. And, you got to watch the movie, but one guy did something stupid and then they started going after him and then they started fighting back. But, all in all, it shows you the meaning of life of what to do and not to do. And a lot of movies from my time does that. I learned a lot from TV and movies, what to do and what not to do. And one of them is this, going around killing innocent people. But anyways, that amount of blood, did this guy work in a meat factory? Because if he did, I think he did. But I wonder why he knew what to do with the knife to make him bleed. And I believe they didn't die a slow death unless he tortured him, but then did the slitting. Amount of blood. That right there is your key piece of evidence. But I gotta go. And until the next video, all this is garbage. Except for that right there. A large amount of blood. Because you find this person that knows what they're doing with getting rid of blood in the body, you got yourself a killer. And it seems to me that they kind of know out there. Delphi gives you the thought, should you start searching, finding that person? Does he still work in that same place? Then he move to another one? Someone that likes that kind of work. And especially, people that like to work in them meat factories, they get a little taste of blood. They get a little taste of killing animals. And then they go off to the next thing of saying, I wonder what it would be like to kill a human. Think about it, folks. My thoughts, my theories, my ideas. That's it on this channel. Nothing else. This ain't the facts. This ain't the truth. This is just me thinking up other things other than what's put on the news and in articles, because you cannot do that. You need to expand your mind. And to catch a killer, you need to think like a killer. Have a great day. Be safe. The piece of crap could be still out there. If he is, he's looking for that next victim. And I know he is. He wants to do this again, don't you? BG. Yeah. Out.